Hey y'all, what is up? What's going on? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing Sephora VIB recommendations. It is that time of year again. I have gone through my stuff and what I've done is I've picked up things that I reach for a lot, because I feel like if it's something that I reach for a lot, that means I think, of course, it's a good recommendation. Also, I have a few products here that I feel like if you need to do like a this or that, like which one do I think is better? So let's go ahead and get into it. I kind of divided it all into like eyeshadow, face products, and lips. So let's start off with face first. Okay, so a while ago I did a video on do primers really work, or are primers really necessary? I did this over the summer, and what I found out is that over the summer primers don't really do a thing for me. I have oily skin, acne skin, so therefore it was just another additional layer that didn't really benefit. However, since it is cooling off and I switch over my foundations, I don't use like straight up just like my strong like super matte foundations. I use more of a natural finish or something that's a little bit more of like a softer matte. Because of the formula being different, I do use a primer, and the primer that I use is the Becca Matte primer. This primer at one point was really difficult for me because I was putting it on wrong. So I was putting it on and of course like rubbing it in as you would any other primer. However, when I was putting it on, it kind of like started beading up and peeling off my face. This is a primer that you just need to kind of pat into your skin. So since I'm switching over the type of foundations that I am using, I will be using the Becca Matte. So this is really good. Speaking of foundations, I got two foundations here. First one is the Fenty Beauty. I recommend this for anyone that is super oily. If you are dry, I do not recommend this because this is not a soft matte. This is matte. There's no shine with this whatsoever. And whenever I've seen it on dry skin, I really wasn't a fan of it. And also, like I said, I have very oily skin. I don't set this with powder. So if you are someone with dry skin, I think that says a lot if I don't set it with powder. If you're looking for a legit matte foundation, this is really good. Keep in mind though, it is very watery and it dries down really quick, so you have to work really fast with it. It's not a full coverage. I think this is like a solid, like everyday medium coverage. And if you need to build it up, you can totally do so. It's really easy to build up. However, the next foundation that I have here, this is probably like my current favorite thing of life right now. This is the new Huda Beauty foundation. I have videos on both of these already. The Huda Beauty foundation is totally different from the Fenty. This is more of a soft matte. It is a creamier finish foundation, and it's a little bit thicker, and it does give you full coverage. So if you want something that's a little bit more full coverage, this is really good to try. My shade is in Mocha, and my shade in Fenty Beauty is 420. I like this because I feel like a lot of times with full coverage foundations, they just kind of make me feel like, whoo, like that's a lot of makeup. I feel like this is definitely the epitome of your skin, but better. It looks like your skin, and I feel like this works really well on dry, normal, combo, and oily skin types. So foundations. Next up here, I've got some face powders. So typically what I do is I set my entire face with loose setting powder, but up underneath the eyes, when the weather starts to change, I kind of look like a little bit of a dried out corpse. I don't put loose powder up under my eyes. I take a setting powder. So I'll either use my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish, but that's not available at Sephora, or I will use Discover FX powder. I like this powder because it's not at all like the MAC Studio Fix. The MAC Studio Fix is like a legit full on foundation. It's the powder foundation. This does not give a lot of coverage like that, and it's it glides on smooth. It doesn't dry out my under eye area, and it sets everything in place, and it gives just the tiniest bit of coverage. I actually keep this one in my purse. If I am going out after work, I need to touch up my face, this is what I use. I like this a lot. Next up, this is a product that I feel like I know I sleep on. Like I forgot I had it. I didn't forget I had it just simply because it's a bad product. It just fell through the cracks. I feel like this is an underrated product. The Urban Decay Shapeshifter. The reason why I like this so much is because this is a product that is so consumer friendly, and I just feel like a lot of people didn't talk about it that much. The reason why I say it's so consumer friendly, first of all, the packaging is nice and sleek. You can drop this right in your bag. It's easy to travel with, and you have the options of, you have cream, contour, and highlight. So you've got obviously your contour shade here, you've got some color correctors, and you've got some highlighters here. And this one on the end is like a more of a goldy peachy tone with a little bit of gold reflex. On the flip side, you have the powder. This contour shade is deep. I don't use this one because it's too deep for me. I use this one. This yellow shade here is perfect for setting up under the eyes. And I'm not a highlighter person. However, this is a very, very pretty, it's like that pretty gold tone highlight. I like it. So I don't know why nobody talks about this, but I pulled this bad boy out and put it right on top of my vanity because this is a really solid product. Sticking with more face products, these are two things that I don't think I really talk about on my channel, but just like in my everyday makeup when I'm going to work, I do use them. The first one is this Too Faced Your Love is King blush. If you're someone that is afraid of blush, I suggest starting here. It only takes the tiniest bit and the shade is so pretty. It gives, I like to have that, just like that little bit of just nice flush color to the skin. It's so beautiful. So this is a really, really good blush, especially if you are my skin tone or deeper, girl, it will work. I feel like blush just pulls the entire look together, and even just using the tiniest amount of it just really pulls it together. Now the next thing here is a little bit shocking, just simply because it's a highlighter, and y'all know I'm not a highlighter person. However, I think this is probably the best highlight I've ever come across. This was actually given to me. This is the Cover FX Candlelight highlighter. I have it on right now. I think it is so pretty. This is what it looks like. Had this never been given to me, I would have never known about it, so I'm happy that it was actually passed on to me. It's just beautiful. I like it because it's not overpowering. Like I said, I'm not a highlighter person because I'm oily, y'all. I got my own built-in dew and highlight going on naturally, but this is just really, really pretty on the skin. On camera, it looks good. In person, it looks good, and it's not like that pie-out bink in your face. Now, if you like that super, super like Metro Boomin highlight, you might not be into this, but if you just want like a nice, soft, sweet, subtle highlight, this will be a good one. So I think we got all of the, yeah, we got everything out of the way for the face. Next up, I've got some eyeshadow palettes here. Okay, so these are some palettes that came out over the summer, and I know when I reviewed them, a lot of you guys were like, I don't know, I'm gonna wait for the Sephora VIB sale. So it's kind of like a this or that situation. So here I have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture. I know everyone has heard about it, everyone has seen it. How many reviews have you seen on this? Drop down below how many reviews you have seen on this palette. So here I have the ABH Subculture, and I also have the ABH Prism. This is the most recent one. So if you are like, okay, love ABH, which eyeshadow palette should I get? Should I get Subculture? Should I get Prism? Subculture is permanent. Prism is limited edition. However, if you need to go with one, I would go with Prism, just simply because my issue with Subculture is, yes, you can make it work. You can totally make this palette work. However, I don't have time to sit there and make something work. I don't like this palette. It's not a palette that I reach for a lot, just simply because it's tedious, and when you start blending the colors together, they just become mud. These are not shades that you can blend together. They're just gonna get muddy. It's not gonna look good. Your shades are gonna go like this crazy brown gray it's not easy. Now, if you're just looking for a pigment to press onto the eye, absolutely you can go there. The Prism palette is not like Subculture whatsoever. I have a review on this palette as well. The Prism palette is just like Modern Renaissance, just like the original formula. I like ABH shadows, especially their palettes, just simply because they are interesting. It catches my eye every single palette if they're out there. Just the color combination and the colors that they choose to put in their palettes and how they arrange it, I feel like it's very unique, and it also makes me step outside of my comfort zone. So I think this is a really cool palette. I don't have a ton of shades like this, so it's actually a really, really, really good addition to my collection. So go with the Prism palette. Next up, these two palettes here. Okay, so the Naked Urban Decay Heat palette or the Tartelette Toasted palette. I have a review on the Tartelette Toasted palette coming up. It will be actually Sunday's upload, so it'll be the next video after this. Spoiler alert, skip it, get the Naked Heat, all right? Naked Heat is 1,000 times better. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, well, the shades are similar. I don't currently have the Tarte Toasted anymore. Spoiler alert, I returned it. Okay, so I don't own it. I returned it because I just was not a fan of it. And it's so funny because I have the first original Tarte lip palette and then the Tarte Lit in Bloom, and I don't know, something was just up with it. You guys will see in the review that I did on it. And since we are talking about Tarte, this is a palette that has slipped through the cracks. This is a palette that's an oldie but a goodie for me. This is a palette that I have totally forgotten about. Tarte Lit in Bloom. I've been using this. I've had a lot of brides here in the past 3 weeks. I have been using this on my brides, and I forgot how bomb this palette is. I like this palette because I'm starting to get a little bit bored of the warm tones, so I feel like this is a good palette if you want to kind of step into the cool tone range. Like, it's not like 100% like straight up cool tone, however it is much cooler than a lot of the other palettes that I own. Also, this palette looks good on a lot of it looks good on everyone. It looks good on all skin tones. It looks good on all eye colors. I really like it. So if you're looking for an everyday palette, something that's easy to work with, you don't have to sit there and try to figure out what kind of color combinations to come up with, I would highly recommend the Tarte Lit in Bloom palette. I have been reaching for this so much. Next up, these are products that I just keep repurchasing over and over and over, and I just got this one, my mascara, but I need to go ahead and purchase this concealer. The mascara that I love is the Stila Huge Extreme Lash. I've been using this for, this spring will be 2 years, not this tube obviously, but just using this mascara. I love this mascara so much. At first, I refused to drop money on higher end mascara. I bit the bullet because I had a little sample size of it, and I was like, oh no, this is great. I love it. I feel like mascara is very subjective just simply because it's kind of like hair. Everybody's lashes are different, but I don't have the wimpiest lashes of life, but I don't have the thickest and fullest either. I think I'm right there in the medium spectrum with my lashes, and I love this a lot. The next thing here, this is what I have on today. This Kat Von D concealer. I've purchased this. I'm gonna buy it again for the VIB. That'll be my 3rd time purchasing this. So y'all know, if I am purchasing something for a 3rd time, most of the time if I'm purchasing something for a 2nd time, that means I really like it. But this right here is my holy grail. I don't have any foundation on. All I have on is concealer, and then I just set my whole face with powder and I go with the bronzer. I like this because it is a full coverage concealer. It is easy to use. If you have dark circles, you need to try this. This is bomb, and my shade in this is D37 Warm. This is like, this is my desert island product. I cannot go without this. This is life. Next up, don't be sleeping on Sephora collection, okay? Sephora collection has some really good things. I ran out of my Kat Von D tattoo liner, and I just had one of those moments, and I was just like, Amber, you're using liner that is $21 and you run out of it because you use it on a regular basis. I was like, okay girl, where can you save some money? And I was just like, oh yeah, that's right, I completely forgot that I like the Sephora collection liner. So I'm not a gel liner kind of girl. I just think it's too much work and it's messy. I like felt tip. Felt tip is so easy. The Sephora felt tip liner is so nice. It's waterproof. They have one that's a little bit more on the shinier side. They have one that is matte. This stays on just like the Kat Von D. In fact, I think this is a dupe for it. So definitely check this out. And then I have some lip products here. Okay, so I'm not a liquid lipstick person. However, if I am going to buy liquid lipsticks, I am going to buy Kat Von D liquid lipsticks. Her lipsticks are the best, I feel, because they're not thick. They are the thinnest formula, but when I tell you these things stay on, I can put this on in the morning, go to work, and work an 8-hour day, and my lips will still be on. So, and even another thing that I like about these are, even when you retouch them, I feel like with some liquid lipsticks, the formula is a little bit thicker, and so when you retouch them, it starts to get all gross and crusty, and you get the whole butthole lip, and it's just not a cute, it's just not a cute situation. So with these, if you have to reapply, it is easy. However, a dupe for these, Sephora collection. I love this shade. You guys have seen me wear this. This is pretty auburn, and The reason why I say it's a dupe for is because it is a very light formula. However, it's not a straight up 100% matte. It's like that cream matte, if you know what I mean. However, I love it. It's opaque, goes on easy to wear, and they have a ton of shades. So if you don't want to spend, you know, like $20 on a Kat Von D, check these out. These are $12. Like I said, don't sleep on Sephora collection. Then I have one more product, and I wasn't gonna mention it, but I'm like really starting to like it. I have it on my eyes today. This is just like if you really want to splurge, like if you're just looking for something extra. I wasn't gonna buy this palette. However, for my birthday, I got some Sephora gift cards, so I was like, I'm technically not really buying it because I'm using my gift cards that I got. So this is the Huda Beauty Desert Sand palette. I hate that this thing is so expensive, but the shades are so pretty, and I have been using this all week long and I'm loving it. I do have a review on this along with the Huda Beauty foundation. I love the shades. Like, yes, I'm over warm tones, but this to me is just so daggone interesting, and I don't know if it's because of the arrangement of the glitters and the mattes. I don't know. This is just interesting to me. So if this is a splurge product, if you're looking to splurge, definitely give this a try. If you have Huda Beauty in your local Sephora, definitely go and check it out for yourself. That was the hardest thing, and that's one of the main reasons why I was kind of like, I don't know about this Huda Beauty thing, because she's not sold in any other Sephoras in my area. I couldn't even find her in any other Sephoras in North Carolina. So I don't know why that is, but if you're fortunate enough to have her in one of your Sephoras, definitely check it out first, because this is a lot of money. It's a lot of money. Alright guys, so that is going to wrap up this video. These are my Sephora VIB recommendations. This is a great time if you've had your eyes on some skincare products. Definitely check those out. I know I've had my eyes on a few, and I will also have my VIB haul, so I'll be sharing that with you guys, letting you know what I purchased. So I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Down below, let me know what you're going to be buying, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.